Let's check back again with another video. Today I have an endoscopy. It's like 5:30 a.m. so if I look like shit, sound like shit, that's why I'm trying not to wake people up. But I thought I'd just go through what you need when you're going to have an endoscopy. Pretty much, you're supposed to be fasting 6 hours before, so that usually means about midnight. So I have to arrive at the hospital at 7 today. And you'll need to be picked up by someone because you'll be going under anesthetic. Because you're not, depending on how bad your allergies are, sometimes they will have food for you to eat afterwards. But for me, there's nothing that they can provide that I'll be able to eat. I know that for sure because it's happened the last 2 times I've been there. So what I'm going to do is actually bring some stuff with me so that I can eat it after. So I've got some pear. I know that's going to go brown and gross after because well, I didn't have a container that would fit the pear itself in it, and some chickpeas. I'm not going to bring any cashews or anything that could cause people allergic reactions because I know that I'm around people who have anaphylaxis. And water, you're not allowed to drink water even before the thing, so I'm bringing this for after because I'm already dehydrated. I'm bringing my tablet for reading. Sometimes you can't get mobile connection and sometimes there's no Wi-Fi, so it's good to have that. And battery pack and basically my phone as well. So hopefully that will be enough. Pretty much I will have to leave for like 20 minutes or so to get to the hospital at 7, and they will check me in, and then I don't know, it could be any time between, I don't know, between 7 and 10:30 that I go into the actual operation, because they told me that I need to be picked up between 11 and 12. So the procedure itself only takes about 20 minutes. It's not very long. So yeah, I don't actually know how many times I've had this done, but I haven't had it done as much as I used to when I was younger. But yeah, see how it goes. Hopefully my esophagus isn't as inflamed as last time. That'd be good because I've changed my entire diet. I'm doing vegan stuff now, so hopefully it's made a difference, although I did eat some stuff that wasn't so good the other day. So I'm hoping that doesn't affect it. Oh, also the other thing is you want to wear something warm because it's going to be really cold in the hospital. They give you blankets and stuff, but even just being in there, sometimes it's a bit cold, so I've got a jumper and I've got jeans. You can wear tracksuit pants if you want, but I know it's always really cold in there, so try and be as warm as possible, and of course you're going to have to change out of this anyway, but just while you're waiting in the waiting room, it's still going to be pretty cold. Recovery sucks. Recovery sucks. So I'm back home now. I was at my parents' for a little while. They took me home, or took me to their place, and they just dropped me home. I slept at their place for like a few hours and then woke up, and I felt real like I was drunk. I felt like I was drunk. When I got to their place, like it was, yeah, it was very drunk, and I was talking like a drunk person, typing like a drunk person. It's basically drunk. So that's what it feels like. It's not so bad. I didn't really have much pain in my esophagus, although I have a little bit in my chest here. It's a little bit uncomfortable, like someone scratched it. That's from the biopsy, because they took a biopsy. So it feels a little bit scratchy, like down deep, but I didn't have any like sore throat this time, which was good, because that's generally not a comfortable feeling when that happens. But yeah, it's been pretty good. I probably will be completely fine tomorrow, but I still got a doctor's certificate for tomorrow as well, just in case. And I'll probably work from home a little bit, because I am still pretty tired, because I only had 2 hours sleep last night, and then, you know, the drugs kick you around a little bit, and yeah, so I'll rest up tomorrow and get enough sleep and see how I feel. They say you're not allowed to cook for 24 hours and drive and stuff. Driving I understand, but cooking, I get that, like right after, like you wouldn't cook when you're immediately drunk, but when you've sobered up a bit more, it's okay. Like I cooked with supervision at my parents' place, so I guess just be careful. Or if you can get takeaway, then you get takeaway. But I ate a big meal of chickpeas, rice, green beans, Brussels sprouts, and a little bit of zucchini. It went down okay. I used white rice though, and that seems to get a bit stuck, but whatever. Nothing abnormal. Just a little bit of chest pain, but I think that's just from the biopsies, because they take from upper and then lower. My actual results look pretty good. They are, to my eyes, the results are good, because the esophagus looks pink. It doesn't look red and inflamed. In previous scopes it's looked really inflamed. Just have to see what the biopsy says for the eosinophil count, but last time the eosinophil count was really low, or it was even 0, so eosinophils aren't really my problem at the moment, so it's more the inflammation in the esophagus. And I think that since I've gone vegan, there's less inflammation in my body entirely as a whole, so hopefully that's all good. Waiting around in the hospital was the worst part. They were running a little bit behind, not the worst, but they were running behind, so it took a while to get to me, and I was really bored. And it kind of sucks to wake up after anesthetics and to be alone. That's the kind of the sucky part. But apart from that, it's fine. Actually, there were a couple of other things I wanted to mention. So, the nurse could not find the vein in my wrist. You can't really see it there, but basically I've got a decent bruise from where she tried to put the cannula in my hand, and that didn't really work so well, and it was painful. She tried to jiggle it around. It was awful. So they ended up putting it in the in like my elbow, not elbow of my arm. So, and that was a lot better. I know from previous times when I've had the cannula in my hand, when they put the anesthetic in, it really burns. It burns a lot. It didn't have that effect this time. I'm not sure why, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. I think I prefer it in my elbow than in my hand. Like the hand, it just seems a lot more sensitive and it just hurts a lot more. So yeah, I think next time I'm just gonna ask them straight up, put it in my elbow, don't try and put it in my hand, because I don't have the veins for you to put it in my hand. Also, I felt really nauseous when I woke up. I forgot about it. I felt really nauseous. I did eat my pear because of course all they had was tomato sandwiches to offer, and I can't have either of those things. So yeah, I felt nauseous. I ate the pear. I still felt nauseous after eating the pear. And so one of the nurses there gave me some anti-nausea medication through the cannula. And I felt better after that, and then I went home. Well, I went to my parents' place, but I'll just stay home. We left after that. So I got there at 7. I went into the theatre at about 11:30, and I think we left at about 1 p.m, 1:30, somewhere out there. I was too out of it to really pay attention to what time it was, but it was definitely after 1 sometime. Was it after just 12? I don't even know, but I was there for ages and I was so hungry. But by the time I got home, I just wanted to sleep. I wasn't really hungry, and I ate at like 5 p.m, 4:30 p.m. or something. So, and I ate a really big meal, like really large bowl of food. Right now I'm getting a little bit of chest pain. I think that's probably just a biopsy. I hope it is. And I hope there's no bleeding. So there's a 1 in 2,000 chance for the biopsy to cause bleeding in the esophagus. But yeah, so if I've had it about 10 times, what are my chances? Yeah, so you can feel nauseous, but they have stuff they can give you so long as you're not allergic to whatever it is in it. I didn't get the name of what it was they were giving me. Well, they told me what it was. What happens, at least in the hospital that I go to for these procedures, you go in there, you fill out a form, you wait, a nurse calls you in, she confirms it, gives you your wristbands, then takes you into a room. You need to take all of your clothes off except for your underwear and socks. They can stay on, and any loose, like more like rings and stuff that could fall off need to be removed. I didn't lose any of my jewelry. And then, so you get into the dressing, into the hospital gown, and you wait in a bed until you get wheeled in. And the nurses there set you up. You gotta lay on your left hand side, and then they inject the drugs and you get knocked out pretty quickly. I kind of wish I had that for like sleeping at night sometimes. It would be really good to just be knocked out in like 5 seconds. It'd be awesome. So, quick update. I went to the allergy clinic today and got my results back from the biopsy from my scope last week. And my eosinophil count is over 50 in the mid and lower, I think she said, which is bad. It should be 0. You should not have eosinophils in your esophagus. That's what this whole condition's about. But basically when I was on just a plain strict elimination diet, no liberalizing, no nothing, my eosinophil count was 0. So now it's over 50 again, which is the same level as it was 2 years ago when I first went to the allergy clinic. This just goes to show that even if things look good in your esophagus, it can still be bad. Because my pictures, if you look at the scope pictures, they're almost identical to the 0 eosinophil pictures, like almost identical, like slight. You can see there's like a very, very slight irritation, but nowhere near as much as what it looked like at the first scope 2 years ago. So it's a bit discouraging and it's a bit annoying and frustrating because It feels like I'm going to have to be on this diet forever, really strictly, which is annoying, but I mean, it looks good and I'm not feeling anything, but the inflammation is still there. So it's a bit hard. I guess it comes down to, if it continues that way, then it ends up looking like it did 2 years ago. I think perhaps what contributed to it not being such a good result is that week was very stressful at work. And also because of the stress, I stress ate some biscuits with cocoa in them, which I probably shouldn't have had 2 days before the scope. And if you know anything about food chemicals, it takes about 3 days for the body to recover and for it to leave your system. So it was like 1 day too less, so that might be why the eosinophil count was up. Plus the stress, which can also make your eosinophil count worse. So yeah, not good news for me really, but the dietitian just said that I should just play around with it a little bit. At least we know where the limit is. I'll reduce my salicylates down a little bit to try and help it, and all I can really do is go by feeling, because there's no way to test the eosinophil count without going and getting a biopsy. So that makes it hard, and we can't all constantly have a scope down our throat to see what it's like. So I'm going to have to go back for another scope, hopefully at a time where it's less stressful, in about 6 months or so, and try and see how it is then, and try and keep my diet stable before I get the scope. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. Hope this video has helped you, and make sure you leave your feedback in the comments for anything that you might want to see that is EOE or allergy related.